Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Creative Circuit. And today's topic, something interesting. Here's a statement. Humans age and grow fragile. That's why we have doctors. Just like the statues we see around us, they age in their own ways as well. And that's why we have a statue restorer. Today, we are joined by someone whose profession you don't often hear about, a statue restorer who has worked on pieces across embassies, schools, temples, and churches. Please welcome Ryan O'Hara.
Hello there. Good morning.
Okay, Ryan, tell us
I
more about yourself and how did you get into this profession?
I used to work in oil and gas for a couple of years, and then I started on my own statues at home. When I was on off day on my leave, I started that. From there it sort of snowballed into something that I want to do. I love doing. So I just left oil and gas and did this full time for the past 7 to 8 years.
So when you did your own statue restoration, you posted online.
No, how it started was along the lines of me doing the statues. My mom went out to get groceries and stuff, and she came back. She's like, "Hey, new statues, ah." I was like, "No, I painted." Then she said, "The bloody rascal, the devil is painting, ah, the statues, holy statues." I just laughed. No, yeah, but nice, keep it up. No, next that evening, my dad came home, said the same thing. No, you want to buy new statues? Ah? Then my mom like, "No, your son painted." He said, "This bloody rascal painting the statues." Like, same thing. And then from there was around Christmas period. Christmas period, like those aunties, uncles all come to the house and whatnot, right? Hey, where you get this statue? Where you get this statue? I said, I painted, I restored. None of them believed me. And after that, finally, they actually did. Then some of them were like, could you restore this for me? Could you restore that for me? I was like, okay. So I started doing for free, doing uh for aunties, uncles, family, friends, and stuff, just to pass time, when I'm on my leave or off days and stuff. But then after that, I just started going more and more and more and more into it. I just went full steam ahead in this.
Then how did it spread? Like, because if you never use social media, if it's just your relatives knowing
Mhm.
about it, right? How did it become a career, or how did you even start your very first paid job?
Okay, it started by word of mouth, from aunties and uncles. There's like there are three very very quick ways of communication. Telephone, alright, email, and then you tell a woman, and then everybody tells around. But that kind of thing, like but it started just from word of mouth. Uh, I think within the first 4 months, already people were contacting me. So I like, okay, this is something I like doing. I might as well try and see what I can do. From there, it was just really word of mouth, when it first started out. Yeah.
So were you very good in art?
I love art. I mean, as you can tell, I know I love art, but I can draw, but it's very, very rough lines, not those fine lines and stuff like that. I do like art, especially in terms of before and afters,
Hmm.
Yeah.
How come you never go into tattooing?
I had a stint, but it didn't last long. I did actually try to go and screw around in that, lah, but that's about it. Lah.
Then when you first met your first official client,
Mm-hmm.
when they saw you in person, were they shocked?
Yeah, they were. Even before I started my career and everything like that, I've always been judged because based on how I look. Last time, now I'm bald. Squeak, squeak. No, but last time also I used to have long hair. Long hair, they get judged. Tattoos, they get judged. But part and parcel of life, like everybody judges someone. I'm guessing, lah. But starting off, yes, especially when I met bigger clients, schools, and I'm not one to change the way I am. I'm like that. I'm like that. There's no two ways about it, lah. But the thing is, yeah, they did judge like the looks. Sometimes they look,
They scan
they
you.
scan, yeah, the up and down. But doesn't bother me, lah. I'm there to do a job. If someone else who has no tattoos can do it, go ahead. If someone else has tattoos covered and can do it, go ahead. But yeah, overall, nowadays it's getting a lot better. Not so judgy, lah. Because of the whole nowadays tattoos are art and all. Yeah, so it's getting a bit better. But still get those looks lah once in a while from those old clients, very old clients.
Those traditional
Traditional,
clients.
yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to some extent as well, because I believe from their perspective, they are seeing or they are hearing somebody who does all these religious
Yeah.
statues as relatively good good boy looking,
Yeah.
and then suddenly next moment they appear and you appear and be
Yeah.
like full of tattoos.
Yeah, happens quite a number of times actually. But after a while, I would say 95, 99% of the time, after less than 5 minutes with them, they all seem okay, you know.
Mm,
And then most of them, after a while, they stop. You can see the looks change. They don't judge.
mm,
They talk nicely. They're okay with it lah after a while. I mean, nowadays lah, not back then.
mm. I mean, given current context, you already have a lot of portfolio
Yeah, I do.
on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So I think from there, people already know that, okay, this guy can do the works that he put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also one of the reasons why it's starting to get better as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Even like I got featured in a couple of articles also. Tattoos are there, you know. People who've seen the articles or the videos online also, they know I've got tattoos. And I just not bothered what people think lah, you know, in the sense of how they look at me. I'm not bothered. But if you want a job done, let me know.
Mm. Yeah, and also what you're doing is something very meaningful as well.
Yeah,
Like I remember seeing one of the website for Straits Time.
yeah.
You mentioned one of the phrase is you are doing restoration for a client statue that has a story,
Mm-hmm.
has a history to the client. So you are doing something meaningful for them to continue the legacy to their friends, family.
Most of the time they pass it down lah.
Yeah,
Sentimental value.
yeah, sentimental value. Yes.
Yeah, I do lah.
So in terms of statue restorer, is there any misconception about this profession?
Oh yes, quite a lot actually. Sorry. A lot of people think it's an easy job. I mean, it gets easier because of the amount of work I put into it, the amount of practice. You know, it gets easier, but it's not easy. You know, there's every single statue is different. You know, even there are times that some statues I can't even take it in. You know, as much as I want to take it in, I can't because I'm not gonna give a whole long story like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and then when the thing comes out, it doesn't look nice or it screws up, you know. I rather if I can take the project, I'll tell them, yeah, I can do it. If I cannot, I'll just say I can't, you know. But the misconceptions most of the time is it's an easy profession. Mm, some of them thinks it's very, very cheap to do, you know. But other than that, some of them will be, why is it taking so long? You know? Some of them have the misconception of it's a 1 day, 2 day thing, you know.
Mm.
But the thing is they don't realize that there's a lot of statues I have to do. And every statue I take my time and do, you know. Not like take my time, like relax one corner, you know, that kind of thing. But I take my time to do. Even like those who cook, they will understand. Like when you cook, you rush your food comes out not nice, you know. Even for my work also, I really take my time, make sure it's nice, you know. I don't send out half past six work, you know, just to make sure the client's happy. I will send them stuff and ask them, hey, nice, you happy with this, or you want anything change, that kind of thing. Yeah, lah. So that's one of those things that normally happen most of the time, lah.
And when you do restoration on site,
Yeah,
you're also subjected to the weather as
yeah,
well, right?
yeah. I
Well,
am.
it's like I followed you down to one of your restoration,
Yeah,
and then just because it rained for
have
the
to stop.
entire day, you'll be like, I'm done. I
Yeah,
cannot do
can't do
anything.
anything. Yeah,
And also depending on what you have to do for that project, it was like buffering
yeah.
for
Buffering and
the
hand polish, removal of patina and everything like
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
and then after that, when you do only halfway, if let's say in at night itself when it started raining,
Mm.
then you have the stains
Yeah,
all over the
all over
polished
again.
area as well.
Yeah,
Then you have to just
redo
repeat and
everything.
repeat over and
Yeah.
over again.
Even there's a project I did once in a school. Uh, on the day of completion, on the day of handover, standing there with the principal, the director, and everything, we're just looking at my work, and the guy goes, "Oh, that's a very nice job." I say, "Yeah, I just varnished it less than 5 minutes ago. Just varnished the statue and blah blah blah." And he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, very nice. Thank you for helping the school, blah, blah, this, then the other." And we just stopped. No, both of us were just looking at the statue, thinking of the before and after, and then it started pouring. Then he looks at me, I looks at him, some words I can't say on camera, lah. But I just like, oh, you know. But the thing is, this kind of thing happens, you got no control over the weather and stuff like that. And that project had, on the day of completion, I had to extend the whole contract because I couldn't leave it like that. No, I had to start everything again from scratch, from where I left off, the varnishing and everything. Like.
Okay, so when you restore a statue, do you see it more as an object or has it got to do with something with a life and history? Or do you understand, or do you try to understand the history of the object first before you start the restoration?
It's definitely not the first, but it's more to the second and third. I would actually say I love to hear the story behind statues, regardless of who it belongs to, and like how it comes about, who's how it got passed down, how long is it, how old is it, what material or how they come into their possession and stuff like that. Uh, Even some statues I've worked with, I don't know head or tail, like Buddha. Sometimes I'm Roman Catholic, but I do all sorts of statues. Even Buddha, and then I go and check it out. Even like learn new things about statues. There's Buddha with the curly things on the head. But
Yes.
everyone thinks it's hair, but it's actually snails. That kind of thing.
Oh.
So you learn something new every day. Even like for Hindus, I do the statues. Certain color schemes for the statues mean certain things. So yeah, I have to more or less get the history behind it, do a lot of research on stuff I've never done. But uh it's a learning experience. Every day you learn something. Yeah.
So regarding the colors, because I remember there was once you told me the statue completely has no more color already, but the only color that we can pick out from is from a very old photo.
Oh yeah, I done that long
Yeah.
ago.
So
Yeah.
how do you mix and match?
Okay, that particular case, right, was a glass etched picture, of Jesus and Mother Mary. I still can remember this project. Quite long ago I've done this, but it was glass. It was a bit frosted and everything. Could barely see anything. And then the client's only reference was an old picture in the family. That all of them, it was in the background. So that was the only reference. And then I was like, I can't do anything with that. No, then I tried to ask him to more or less dive deep, and try and remember how it looks like and explain to me. So he did that, and I said, okay, I'll see what I can do. Then over the course of a few weeks, I was doing it, getting back the line work, getting back everything. And then quite a number of video calls or calls, and then sending pictures. Is this the color tone? And they finally, yeah, it's like that. Look like how it was last time. Over quite a long period, and then when it was done, guy said it was about 95 to 100% match. Like what he can remember and from the time he got it.
So why were you willing to restore other religious statues apart from your own religion?
To be very, very frank, everybody bleeds red. I love to say this line because it's true. Everyone bleeds red. You, me, everybody, And regardless, like even in Singapore, when you go to Singapore, your pledge and whatnot, right? Regardless of race, language, religion, But the thing is, for me, if I can do it for my own self, my own religion, why can I not help other people? I mean, there are customers that, why are you doing for them? I say, why? You're paying my salary or what? I'm working, whether I have to do for you or what, it's my job. And they say, because normally the Buddhists will do for the Buddhists, the Hindu do for normally it's like that. I say, but I don't bother at all. If I can help someone, regardless of any race or religion, I will help. And in terms of for them, their identity, their religion, all that, it's if I can do a statue for some Buddhist family, or Hindu family, or even restore those Muslim weddings, Arabic wordings, black and gold and stuff. Like, if I can restore it, they can put it in the house. The more people will be closer to their God or God, in general. Or when the older generation goes, the next generation will have it. So it's like, I guess in a way, I wouldn't say paying it forward, but just trying to help everyone I can, in whatever way I can possible.
So were there any people that just because it's not from the same religion and told you saying no, they are not comfortable with you touching or restoring the statue? Because I believe there'll be some people who are relatively sensitive to another religion.
Not really, but I mean, there are statues with pantang, or like certain things you cannot do or cannot eat. But for me, I'll tell them I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I'll give your statue respect, like some like Hindus, they cannot eat beef. Even Buddhists also, some they pantang cannot eat beef and stuff like that. I say, yeah, I'll eat. I'm eating beef. I eat beef, but I'm not gonna eat the beef and do your statue, And when maybe the next day or what, I'll do it. And in the meantime, I'll do something else or what. But then they look at me, they're like, "Oh, you very straightforward." I say, "Yeah, what else do you want me to do? I cannot,
Yeah.
give all the nonsense lah." But most of them are fine with it. Some of them, they like the Buddhist sites also, they have to go and close the eyes of the statue and stuff like that lah. But that one is not my issue lah. I know they do what you need to do, then I restore it for you lah. But no, so far no one has. Oh, you different religion. Then most of the time, when people of different races or religions they come, they just see me as a statue restorer. They don't see race, religion most of the time lah.
Okay.
So far, I haven't experienced that kind of stuff lah.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hope not.
So what were some of the most memorable stories mentioned by clients that until now you still feel emotional about?
Mentioned by clients.
Yeah. Like the client's story.
Okay, there's a couple actually. One of them was I restored a statue, for this client. It was a Mother Mary, and passed it back to her, handed it over. Within 4 to 5 hours, she calls back. Yeah, like,
Oh no.
oh no, what happened? The statue broke, or this, that, everything. Everything came to me thinking it was something bad or negative that happened. And the worst part, she calls me crying. Then I was like, oh, like, like, oh God, what happened? And she calls me crying and she goes, my husband hasn't prayed for 20 years. Never even went to church with me for 20 years. I say, okay, and then says he comes home today, he sees the statue, he knelt down in front of the statue and started praying. So I saw like, oh, okay, then why are you crying? Say, I'm so happy because of you. I said, not because of me, because not because of me, but I appreciate the gesture, and then even got some clients also, they restore their statues and they call me and they say stuff like, oh, bro, boss, Ryan, your statue came back, I touched 4D. Now my stress levels are drop. And the next thing I know, they'll be sending me money. I said, no, you take back your money. Your own money, never mind, no problem. He said, no, because of you. Like that kind of statues, Got stuff of even some statues that I've done also, when I give it back to the client, they start crying. Like, I think I did a screwed up job or something like that. But then I realized that to them, it's how they looked at it when they were young as a kid. And these clients are like, what, 80 plus years old, 90, and they still can remember how it looked like. And that kind of stuff. Some of them were even statues like, for example, how to put it? Like, statues that have been through so much just to get to the person's house. They carry back the statue from God knows where, like from Spain or Portugal or some ulu place. I can't remember the name lah. But they bring it back by plane. They carry the whole statue. They can't even check it in. And then they got so much trouble with the statue just to get it back to their house. I mean, that kind of thing also is very it pulls on the heartstrings, like, when you hear someone's story. Sometimes you can look at someone, you can judge, you can think of whatever you want to think, but when you hear their story, you open up, your concept, your mindset, and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay, so when you restore a statue, I would assume that you are restoring it to 100% of its original state. Or if it's not, why?
Okay. My trademark for the past 7-8 years is I always leave a statue one spot untouched. Whether the client knows or doesn't know, if he asks or they ask, I will tell. But every statue I do, I leave one spot untouched. But it's not like full frame, right? Say for example, the whole thing is done. Maybe I just leave one mole untouched, mole, or like maybe the pupils untouched, or maybe just everything is fully restored and just the cross, the cross, or just a small little, very very small details. I leave it untouched so people don't forget the past of the statue, the sentimental meaning behind the statue, and to even show that nothing is perfect. Yes, I can restore it to 100%, but I'm not going to. It doesn't affect the outcome of how it looks. It's just one single spot untouched. Just for remembrance sake. Yeah.
Except for the previous one that you did, the patina.
Yeah.
That one, I believe you cannot leave the patina spot, right? Because when it starts raining, it's going to become very obvious.
Yeah, but for that I did toning. So I removed all the patina, but I left in a lot of dark spots from the previous old oxidization. So I could get tonings on the hair, the blouse and everything. There are spots that I left behind untouched, but not too much because it affect the outcome of the statue and doesn't look good, Even if I could make it a full-on brass, shiny brass, I recommended to the client that it was not nice, It would just look like a plastic, a very stiff piece of
Very
block,
flat image,
So I told them about all um the tonings I want to do and everything like that. But I removed all the patina and left the tonings. So technically I wouldn't say it's 100% too. I still left a bit behind.